Hi there guys, this is Teacher Harry here and welcome back to my English lessons where I try to help you to get a better understanding of the English language. Okay, so what are we going to look at today? Well, we're going to look at some expressions and particularly phrasal verbs with the word put, P-U-T, put. Okay, now to put, it has no change, so it's one of those irregular verbs. Put, put, put. A bit like one of these little bikes you get on when you go to Asia. Put, yeah? When you boom, boom, put. So put, put, put. So to put. No change in its construction. So to put something about or around. And about and around are the preposition and they're exactly the same. Yeah? When we go around in circles or we go about in circles, it means the same. So to put something about or put something around means perhaps to put a rumor about that, oh, did you hear that David is getting divorced? You might not know it. You might have heard some gossip, so you put a rumor about. Now, it might be malicious. You meant to hurt somebody, or you might have done it accidentally because you got the wrong information, or as we say in English, the wrong end of the stick. The wrong end of the stick means you got something, you picked it up wrong, somebody mentioned something and you misunderstood it. So you could put something around or put something about deliberately, or you could do it accidentally where it wasn't intentional. Okay, so we put a rumor about or we put a rumor around. Okay, so to put around and about. And usually when we're talking about gossip or rumors, yeah, there's a rumor being put about by some people that the internet is going to be closed down, or there's a rumor has been put around that the country is going to increase the taxation by 50%. Okay, so people get really, really worried. And of course, when we have all these issues with social media these days, it's very easy for us to get information or misinformation or false information, or as they call it, fake news. So gossip and rumors are easily put around or put about. Okay. Next, to put something across. Well, when we want to put across our point, it means we want people to understand. And this very definitely comes in from a business perspective when you're at a meeting or you're making a presentation, or even if you're in a classroom environment, you want to put your point across, yeah, or your message across. So how do we do it? So if we're organizing the launch of a new product, how do we put across to the people that we want them to buy this product? Well, we have to make it sexy and cool and really interesting to buy. So we deliberately form our program or our launching of our product based around that. Yeah, so to put it across. Or if somebody's very angry or annoyed, then they want to put across the message that you cannot do it. So as a parent talking to your children and you want to tell them the difference between right and wrong, what they can do and what they cannot do, then it's really important to put your message across in a very stern way. So you put on a stern face. You know you're not supposed to do that. You know what it means when you do that. So you speak to them in a stern manner, and hopefully they recognize by your body language or your facial expression that you're a little bit annoyed. So you put the message across. Okay, to put across. Good. Okay, next, put aside or put by. Now, as I said, these two prepositions, aside and by, in this situation, exactly the same. Usually when we use put aside or put by, it means that we're going to save something. Okay, so literally we put it aside. So aside meaning over here, or put by, we put something here so we can do it physically. Okay, so if you've got a nice chocolate cake, for example, you might not eat it all, hopefully not, and you put aside some of the cake for later, or you put aside some of the cake to share with the family. So you put it aside and then you'll enjoy another slice with a cup of coffee later in the afternoon. When we are saving something, perhaps money, we don't physically take it out of our pocket and put it aside, or take it out of our pocket and put it by, okay? But we do save it perhaps in the bank. So we can put aside a little money every month to save for our holidays. Or we put a little money by every month for what we call it in English, the rainy day. And the rainy day is when you really need it. Some problem will happen. The washing machine breaks in a few months, or the car breaks down. Whatever happens, and you need some money, and you go, oh, here we go again. But luckily I have put some money by, and therefore it's not going to cause too much of a problem. Okay, so to put something by or put something aside is to save it for some situation, the rainy day, the holiday, whatever it might be, the kids' education. Okay, and we can put aside a little bit of cake that we can enjoy later on. So physically, we leave it on the table and we try not to be tempted to eat it. So put aside and put by. Next, to put down to. Okay, so when we put down to something, it means we believe this is the reason why something happened. Okay, so this heavy rain and these tropical type weather effects have been put down to climate change. Okay, so this is what has been blamed. So they're blaming the fact that there's so much pollution. They're blaming the fact that the ice cap is melting. They're blaming the fact that we haven't done enough to protect the environment, and therefore these abnormal weather patterns are being put down to the whole aspect of climate change. So governments are now saying, oh, we must do more about stopping cars in our streets. Oh, we must do much more about car pollution. So they'll push forward the whole issue of electric vehicles so that we can avoid, hopefully, these sort of patterns happening in the future. So when you want to blame something or you want to apportion the blame, then you put it down to something. Okay, so if the kids are misbehaving and they're doing things that you don't want them to do, and you say, I just put it down to excitement. You know, they're getting ready for the holidays. We've been planning this and they're a little bit bored at home. So I'll just put it down to normal children excitement. And as soon as we get to wherever we are going, they'll be fine. To put down to. Okay, to put forward. Well, when we put forward something, it often is by way of a suggestion, okay? Could I put forward a suggestion? So this is something you might ask at a meeting. Would you mind if I put forward some ideas? Meaning, would you mind if I give you some ideas that might help? So from a business perspective or something you're planning, you would like to put forward your own ideas. So you'd like people to think about them, you'd like people to consider them, and you'd like people, hopefully, to accept that these ideas are good. So you put forward your ideas. Now, you might do it in a note, you might do it in an email, so you tell your boss or your colleagues, well, look, I'll think about it, I'll go back to my desk, it'll take me a day or so, but I'll put forward my suggestions or I'll put forward my ideas in a document, in an email, and I'll circulate it to everybody, I'll copy the boss, whatever you have to do, okay? To put off. Well, when we put off something, we postpone it. So the match has been put off for a couple of weeks due to COVID. Okay, so classic situation at the moment that sporting events around the world are being cancelled or postponed for a period of time because of the COVID situation. So the match next week has been put off until the following week. Okay, or the game that was scheduled for today has been put off until tomorrow due to heavy rain and the pitch has been waterlogged, so they have to wait until the pitch dries. But the match will go ahead, but it's just been postponed by several hours or several days, so it has been put off. Another way we can use put off is when we don't like something or we are not so sure. Okay, so we could be put off traveling abroad because of the extra cost of getting these PCR tests and other tests that we have to get. So, I don't really want to travel. I'd like to go on holidays, but the cost, the additional cost has put me off. It's meant that I'm thinking twice about whether I will travel at all. So I really don't feel like spending another €150. Those extra costs, those extra charges, those extra delays have really put me off. So I don't feel like traveling. Or a bad taste or a bad smell might put you off. So you go into a restaurant and you see some nice food and you're feeling a little bit hungry. But when you walk into the restaurant, you get a strange smell or a bad odor and it puts you off eating immediately. Okay, so your friend says, well, what would you like to order? You say, oh, no, I don't really feel so comfortable here. That smell has put me off my lunch or my dinner or my appetite. So look, you go ahead. I'll just have a coffee, or I'll have a small snack, but I don't really feel like eating at the moment. So that experience or that smell or that taste has really put me off. Okay, now we can be also put off somebody by some action or something about them, some mannerism that you don't like. Yeah, so if somebody's a little bit arrogant, it might put you off that person. Okay, so I don't really like him, his manner has put me off. I thought he was okay, and when I spoke to him the first time, it wasn't so bad, but the more I've got to know him, the more I dislike him. So I've really been put off by his actions or his mannerisms or the way he talks or the way he acts. Okay, so to put off. Next, we have to put someone out. Well, we could literally pick somebody up if we could and put them out the door. That would be one way of doing it. So if one of the children is misbehaving, you put them out of the room. So you pick them up, or you take them by the hand, you put them out. Or you might put the cat out or the dog out into the garden so they can do what cats and dogs do. Okay, so you've put them out. So that's a very literal meaning of it. But if we want to use it in another way, when we can say to put someone out means to disturb them or to in some way interfere with what they were doing. Okay, so when you put someone out, it means temporarily or for a period of time, you might feel that you are disturbing them from something else that they are doing. Okay, so your boss might ask you to prepare some document for an important meeting, and you say, okay, look, I'm a bit busy at the moment, and but I'll get it done. When is the deadline? And he says, it's next week. I hope it won't put you out. Well, no, I'll finish what I'm doing. It'll just take me a few hours, and then I'll get started on that. It won't disturb me at all. So to put someone out. Put someone through something. So when we put someone through something, it usually means something difficult, okay? So the illness put you through some difficult times, yeah? So you didn't feel well at the beginning, you had to get some treatment, you had some medication, so it really put you through a difficult situation physically and mentally because of the illness, okay? So if there are changes that take place in our life, that can be another situation when someone is put through something. Okay, so let's say the company you work for has decided to relocate. So they're going to relocate somewhere in the suburbs because the price of office space is much cheaper there. So they send a memo around to the staff to advise people that, as in from the 1st of January next year, we're going to relocate to these suburbs. And we are really, really sorry and apologetic for having to put you through this, okay? We're apologetic for having to put you through this, but it's something that we have to do to save costs. The alternative is that we stay in our city centre offices, but then we'd have to reduce the workforce. So we have a choice. We hate to put you through it, but we think it's something that you will understand is in the best interests of everybody. So to put someone through something is some change that perhaps they won't like, perhaps it will take a while for them to adjust to, but it's something they have to do. So to put them through it. Okay, there's an expression in English to put you through the mill. Now, a mill is one of these windmills. So when you put someone through the mill, it's a really difficult situation. I've been through the mill. I've been put through the mill by my boss. I've been put through the mill by my ex-husband or ex-wife if there's a bad breakup in a marriage. So we can use it in that context. Again, it's not something you wanted to go through, but you did go through it, so you have been put through something very, very difficult. Okay, put together. When we want to put something together, we join it, yeah? So we're building Lego. We put this together with this together with that, and we build up the Lego. We've all done it with our kids, and some people actually enjoy doing it even with it if they don't have kids. So to put something together is to build it or connect it, okay? We can put together a presentation. We can put together a slideshow. we can put together videos, as I do with you on a regular basis. I put them together bit by bit and build up. Okay, so when we want to put things together, we physically glue them. We get a bit of glue, put this and this, and then we stick them together to put together. Or we can put together a presentation, okay? Or he's put together a really wonderful meal, yeah? So he's prepared this, he's prepared that, he's got the best of wine. So, if you get an invitation to his home, he always puts together a wonderful celebration, a wonderful presentation of food. Okay, put together. And then finally, if we want to put someone up to something, okay, when we put someone up to something, it means we persuade them to do something perhaps that they didn't want to do. Maybe it's a little bit cheeky. And so somebody might say, oh, who put you up to that? Okay, so good example would be the kids. Okay, so one of the kids tries to play a trick on you. So they put a bucket of water or something above the door. So when you open the door, the water falls down on top of you and everybody laughs, except you, of course, because you're very, very wet. But the kids are laughing. And then you say, who did this? Who did this? Yeah. And so little Johnny comes forward and says, I did it. I did it. And his mother said, well, you couldn't have thought of that yourself. Who put you up to this? Yeah, meaning who persuaded you that it was a good idea to do it? And Johnny says, oh, Jennifer, she told me that I should do it and it would be very funny. So somebody puts somebody up to something. Okay, so to put somebody or someone up to something means to persuade them against their will, or to get them to do something that you don't want to do, but you want them to do it. Put somebody up to it. Okay, so let me run through those again. Put something about, or put something around, and about and around, exactly the same preposition. Put something across, yeah, to get your point across. Put aside or put by means to save, perhaps. Put down to blame or to describe or accept how something happened. To put forward means to suggest something. To put off, to postpone or cancel. Put someone out means to inconvenience them in some way, perhaps. To put someone through something means to give them a difficult time that really you didn't want to do, but you had no choice. Put together, to build or connect. And put someone up to something means to persuade them to do something that they didn't really or shouldn't have done. Okay, so all of these are phrasal verbs with put. There are many, many more, some very, very simple ones. These are some that are a little bit more difficult. Hopefully you've understood those, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And as always, you can listen to me on the podcast, and you'll get me on www.englishlessonviaskype.com. And if there's anybody you think would benefit from these or would enjoy them, well, give them the contact details. The more, the merrier. And I'm delighted to see you. And as always, join me again soon.